This is Just Amazon on Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. Looking at part of today, and I've got the setup, I got the screen set up just to compare a couple things going on here. So initially we opened up, pulled back, sold down actually, put in a really small hammer here, and this price seemed to be bouncing off of maybe this high from this bearish candle going back to Friday, or kind of this pivot, like this whole area here. You got a little bit more of a pullback here from the gap up that we had on Monday. So, it makes sense to pull back some more. We're looking like we're going to pull back more here, and then it rallied. All the while this was pulling back, we're really holding the below this 21 pretty well. Today we poked above it a little bit, then sold down, rallied back to it, actually poked above it again, sold down, poked above it again, sold down, poked above it again, actually got a candle above it, completely above it, on one of these rallies, and then rolled back down. And then we find ourselves here where now we've made a higher low. We weren't really doing that yesterday. We're making pretty much relative lows through this. Then got that pop. This time we made a higher low, and just taking a look at kind of this area where we're selling off, staying below the 21. We had a lot of bearish candles, but then we'd have these bullish pops, every so often. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, 1, 2, not really that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these kind of separated out bullish pops, and a lot more bearish candles. Well, today, if you look at this, what we're doing below the 21, you got some bearishness initially. You got a rally from the bulls. You got a few bullish candles in here. Another sell-off from the bears. A rally from the bulls. Some more bullish candles, and these are bigger bullish candles. Similar to the size here, there's just more of them in a row. So obviously that's making a rally. I'm not trying to make a point about that. I'm just saying, look at kind of what's happening. There's a little more balance between red and green and red and green. It's pushing us back up. Whereas yesterday, there's a whole lot more red through all of this. I don't know if there's a tool to measure, but in this range, you've probably got double the amount of bearish candles as you have bullish candles. And then today in here, you've probably got pretty much an even number, pretty well balanced. And, it's easier to see the opportunity, creeping in that, hey, we can get a little more of a pop here. Maybe not something huge, but, this initial rally back up here to 1915 was yesterday's low, that low range. And, we broke down, went all the way down to, kind of a pivot point from the previous day. So, okay, we're kind of range bound here. Let's see if we can get going and break out of that, or at least get to there, and then see if we'll pull back down and make a higher low, and then rally up to the high of the day, and then up to 1925, and see if we can get some bullishness going. And so we got a squeeze. So it's compressing in here. And I'll step forward what's going on next, and it starts to pop again. So this time we actually had, a candle, well, we actually had a stair step in here, and I guess I don't really need to show the levels from 2 days back. So here, it's easier to see now. 15-minute stair step in here, and then we break out. Break above the 21. Not a breakout, because we're still below this low, but we're above the 21. And, right now is where it really has to roll over. You've got these lower highs, you've got these relative lows, now this higher low. It's like this is the last opportunity, I guess, aside from coming up and making the same high. Really, it's got to roll over here if it's going to stay bearish. We got some increase in volume from the previous 20 minutes of candles. And next, we got a bigger move. So if you were bearish at this point and still in the trade, you could have put your stop right here, or at least right here, giving a little bit of room if you're playing it conservatively. Look for that to roll over and get a target back down here. And just count this as a little bit of a blip, a little bit of an S-curve, and continue lower. Well, no, you've been stopped out, hopefully, because it's going in the wrong direction. And we had a rally from down here with the hammer this high up, and that moved. What is that? From the low, call it 1907, to the high, 1915. So about $8 or so. We'll see if we can get kind of a move maybe up to 1918 and get up here from this level and see if we can just do a similar move up. So this still has a little ways to go. It'd be nice if we had a little bit of a pullback, retesting this level now from above, or definitely retesting this level in 1914, somewhere in here. Squeeze hasn't fired yet. Okay, now the squeeze is fired. We're already up. We're making new highs. We just took out all these highs. We just hit all the stops of any of the bears that were using stops in these areas. If anyone's using a mental stop, it's like, okay, they're looking at a place to get out. So the squeeze is now triggered. A little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a hammer, kind of a really small stair step. And these two candles, let's see, the highs are the same. No, wait. The high here is 1915.98. High here is no. My mouse keeps moving on this. 1915.98. Okay. 1915.86. Okay. 12 cents difference. That's all. All right. So all we've done is pause right here. A little bit of a stair step. This is a continuation pattern. It starts to continue. Pushes up a little bit. Gets sold back down. Still a bullish looking candle. Well, it closed positive, but not a bullish looking candle. Sorry. Let's see. The open and close. Yeah, 1 cent positive. Nice place for it to reverse. Should roll over here. We're right at this resistance. We're right at this. I'm sorry, this resistance. Yeah, this resistance. This area. But it looks like we're starting to break out. It's making a higher high. And what happens next? We continue on up. Here we are, 1918. That was the range I said, from this low to this high. Move that over here, this low to this high, and that's kind of the opening of a triangle, where I can see this being lower highs, this being similar lows, and you just take kind of the opening of that triangle. And you could have counted this as the opening of the triangle, but the angle just doesn't really fit. This angle is a lot cleaner, so you just take that range and you apply it to where it's breaking out from, and there you go, 1918. Does it have to stop here? No, it does not. And this is one of those trades that I would suggest you hold on to, but it's hard to have that plan from the get-go. If you're just trailing your stop, it can work, but in this case, we rallied significantly. We have not pulled back much. We're going to have a little bit of pullback. We got some selling coming in here up around this level here, where there was lots of selling yesterday, but we're holding above the 21. Haven't even come down to touch that yet. That was really our clear divide from what was bullish and what was bearish yesterday. Once it got going directionally, even here, I mean, a lot more movement below than above. All right, so each one of these bearish candles has been met with a bullish candle right after it, so that helps. This is just a really nice longer stair step. We get that bullish momentum that's waning a bit. Still shows waning, but now you're breaking out again. So you just got to close above this high from this massive bearish candle. Let's see, the high and the close are the same, so this is a shaved top, and this should continue up some more. It does. Puts in a hammer, third hammer, making new high on the day. Let's see, the high was 1920 and 50 cents. The high here is 1920 and 46 cents, almost making it high in the day. Okay, so 4 cents difference. So the people who are selling here are selling again right here, looking to push this lower. That makes a lot of sense. We'll see if it comes down anymore. Nope. They all just got trapped. All those bears who shorted at the open and maybe took their gains down here, hopefully they did, and they made some money, and now they're trying to do it again. Well, they just had to give some of that money back, which is, what we want, because we want the trade to continue bullish, being from way down here, or getting in up here, or getting in above a bearish candle like that, being a higher high, but okay, inside candle keeps moving. Here we are, right at 1925. The high is 1920.59. For some reason, the bears wouldn't let it get there, and it's a really nice inverted hammer. at a resistance. This is a great place to take profits way up here. Probably actually having had your target like 1924, 1923, where it ran up to yesterday, or you're already out because it hit the high of the day. Wherever your target was, great, nice trade, that worked. This is an incredibly strong move. You can tell that the squeeze really helped power that thing much higher and faster. And we get inside candle, pull back a little bit. Now we're just kind of chopping around right here in 1925, and now we've actually got above it. Inverted hammer again, just like this one, and this is bears looking to roll it down again like they did yesterday. Pushes down. Where do we bounce at? Where do we pause at? Right at the 21. Can you guess what's going to happen next? It bounces and it rallies into the close. It didn't even get back below the 21. I mean, it held above it into the close yesterday. It rallied from midday today. I mean, right around noon, it just rallied and went. So some incredible opportunities here. If we look at the calls, this is the 1925 calls that were actually out of the money, losing their value. We're holding right around $4. And I mean, let's see, you're making relative lows here, and even in here at 1040. So at 1040, it made another low on this, or slightly higher low on the stock. It was actually making, kind of in this range, making a new low here, but it's actually on its way. No, that was on its way back up, right? Yeah, that candle. Okay, so 1040. The low of this candle is 1906.84. The low of this candle 1906.63. So this was just about a quarter higher, not even. And this is where we're here to here. So we're making lower lows, but we're really just holding to that $4 price all through this, even though we're rallying here, rolling back down, get that stair step, even while we're doing the stair step through 1150. Through 1150, we're right in here, right under $4. And so, where this consolidation's coming in, if you're looking to get in on a breakout here, or if you're waiting till the breakout happens and then getting in the next candle, let's say you're getting in right at the noon candle and you've got the trade set up. The noon candle had a low, this one. The noon candle had a low of 411. Maybe you had it set at 4, maybe you just used a market order, not recommended. But in this range of this candle, you could have gotten in at maybe 450, something, with the stop down at like 350. And that would have been your 1 hour risk. From there, slowed down a little bit as it moved in the direction we want to. Only made it up to about $6. Pause, pull back, and it was right in here around 1 o'clock, 1:10. Oops. Where it was pausing here. Now it already moved what I would consider significantly, and right around 1 o'clock, it looked like it was pulling back a little bit. And we're only a little bit, like less than an R, around an R above our entry, way down here, because it's just taking some time for the options to adjust. That we're moving in the direction. We're still $7 out of the money. It's a holiday week. We're losing a lot more theta. With Wednesday closing early and Thursday closed. And so, the market makers aren't just going to give the money back with however the Greeks are set up. But anyway, we're rallying and pausing here, which was a great opportunity to get in. Great opportunity to get in here or add more if that's in your plan. And get something set up where you're getting in at like, what was it, 450 here and a stop at 350, and you're adding at 550 and a stop now at 5. And so essentially you're breaking even on the trade because you would have still won half an hour from here and lost half an hour from here right at $5. No slippage and not counting fee. Anyway, from there, it just rallies. We come into like this $9 price, similar to where we opened up. That's right at the 1925 level. Roll back down here. That was the pullback into the 21. And then from there, another rally. And so even that pullback, which it seems crazy to be buying it there, but buying it off the 21, I mean, that could be a strategy, especially as the 21 has been a key level, yesterday on the 5 minute, selling off each time it touched it. That was working yesterday. Why can't it work today to buy off of it? If that's all you're looking to do, buy off the 21 in an uptrend, short off the 21 in a downtrend, that's your strategy. That could work some of the time. And yesterday it worked to sell, and then you got stopped out here. And today it worked to sell, and you got stopped out here. And then you flipped and you bought it here, and it worked. And it worked nicely too. I mean, can you imagine buying here at $8? Buying here at 8, right off the 21, and getting a rally that got you, 2R pretty quickly, then 3, 4, 5, 6R, right into the close. That would be really cool. And so, really nice rally. We're hanging out up here after hours. We'll see where we open up. This is a really, really strong move. And I think the daily is a shaved top. No, it's not. The high is 1934.79. The close is 1934.31. So we're close. I just can't see the upper tiny little wick here. Yeah, there's a little wick there. Okay. All right. So let's look at the daily. Bullish engulfing is this candle. This candle actually closed above this candle, right? 1935.20. No, we didn't get there. Okay, we didn't close above this candle. So this is still going to be some nice resistance. If we can continue and gap up in the morning tomorrow, we'll probably pull back to 1925. If somehow we can hold this 1935.20 value, if we can somehow hold that value, that would be a bit of a retest. And then, I mean, it could really run still, even though it's an early close day, because it just can. Or it could sell off from this level because people are closing positions before a holiday weekend. Not that Thursday is holiday weekend, but I don't know that there'll be a lot of volume on Friday either. So I'll try to check back in on Wednesday and on Friday to see how things have been moving. But those are the setups. Those are a few different opportunities to get in going bullish with this option. You could have done a different option a little further away, like the 1930 call. That got a little cheaper. And then like every dollar you could have added and add or reduce. So, buy the breakout here at 3, stop at 2, buy more at 4, stop at 3, buy more at 5, stop at 4, and just keep moving on up. Add or reduce, something like that. I like when those are working out. May not have really worked here. It could have. If you bought at 6 and move your stop to 5, you're still profitable even if you got stopped out, but it didn't come down to 5. It came down to 515. But then it continued here. Buy at 7, stop at 6. This would have been a little tough. Buy at 8, stop at 7, because that just wasn't quite right. But then you're just going, and you're really looking for targets to start exiting like this high here, like 775, and then getting out at like some at 10, and depending on if you want to hold any more for the next day. But it's however you set up the trade. So you could have gone the other way, going closer to at the money, not quite in the money. And this was putting a low around 5, really small hammer type candle there. Again, getting in 6 by 5, and that made it a 2R pretty quickly. You could go near the money again. I don't remember what the low was. Where did we rally from? Oh, it was 1910. Okay, let's go look at 1910. So this one gets a little thinner. There's a few more of these just horizontal lines, just lower volume. So I don't really like that one. I like the 1915 just because we pulled in that level a number of times. But okay, you're at the money now. This is the 1910. And I always have to get rid of these. I haven't figured out a way to turn that off. Okay. Dips down below 9. This is like what it did. No, this is like what the 1925 did yesterday. It dipped down below $9 instead of holding the $10 price, but you could have been getting in anywhere in here 10 9. And then that rallied and, gave you 150%, getting above 25. So if you bought it 10 by 9, I mean, you got out at 25, 26. If you held that far, I mean, that's 15, 16R. That's pretty cool. Or you could have been getting out like here, getting out at 18 because that was really close to this high, or 17, a little bit before the high. And your target, you probably actually would have had slippage in your favor, getting out around 1750, 1763, something like that. So that would have been, what was it, 10 up to like 18? That would have been 8R. So this one's a little thinner too. Not as many horizontals, but a little more expensive, which is fine. Works too. But a really nice S curve here. Zooming out, this kind of S curve, and then going into some events. Got a gap up from the weekend, and then an S curve here. Looked like yesterday was going to be an S curve, but it needed another day to pull back. And then even just looking at this, I don't think I drew this. But there's a bit of a channel here. This could be tightened up a little bit and do that. But I just kind of grabbed this a little bit. There you go. So like that. All right, so it's a downtrend channel. You could have drawn this yesterday, connecting these 2 points, connecting 4 points, 5, 6 points down here. Makes sense to sell off from this, buy here, doesn't quite get back up, just like it didn't here. Sells down to this level, and then, okay, let's see if we can get going, and then runs right on through that high and breaks out. So just another perspective on what was happening here with the move yesterday and today, because it was really this portion of it till about midday today was this downtrend channel. Really small channel, holiday week kind of move where it was just smaller. And it was just setting up, consolidating for something more significant with an S curve. And had a really nice rally. So hope you caught some of that and hope that makes sense. We'll see what we do from here. It would be okay to chop around right at 1925 a little longer. We've done that plenty of times when we've gotten up here. This one we had indecision, kind of hammer, and then gapped up and sold back down. So kind of the opposite of what we did today here on this one, where we gapped down and bought up, and then back over here at 1925. Yeah, we've had some different kinds of candles through here. We haven't really had, I guess, similarly this one where we gapped down and then bought up, that candle. So if we do something like this, look for 4 more days, a few more days of up. That would then contend with, if we did that, that should contend with this high. Maybe take it out, 1972.50 would be a nice target. Let's see, what else could we do? But that'd be, well, it depends on how much volume we're going to get. Sorry, I'm bumping something with my mouse. What else has happened in this area before? That kind of candle. I guess we like to get a retest and buy up through there. Retest, well, not a retest. Pull back here and buy up. So doing it much smaller here. I like this as a bullish engulfing. Yesterday was a bullish gap and go that just didn't really work. Today we retested some more. We came right into, I don't think I looked at that. We came into these levels here and, came into these open prices and then bounced from there. It's probably easier to see in the 5 minute. I didn't zoom out to see that. So yeah, I was looking at this price, but all of this right in here, like 1910, that was the option I just looked at. That's what it bounced off of here. It just oscillated a little bit right around 1910. That's all. Get into the high there. I like that. So that rest after battle did not continue bearish, broke out, retested, and went off to the races today. So we'll see if it'll continue. It's losing bullish momentum. We'll see if that gets a shift more positive in the next couple days. It really, I think, depends on volume and price movement, and we got a little bit of volume dropping off. So tomorrow being a half day, closing earlier, we'll see if we get much volume back in, and then Friday too. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit more of a rest in here and then pick back up in either direction Monday. So, but continue to look down at the 5 minute, look for these squeezes, get things a little bit tighter. We could do something like this tomorrow where we pull back and just kind of bounce off 1925 and close between 1925 and 1930, at noon central tomorrow, because that was kind of what was going on here today. So this may be a good thing to kind of keep in mind, that whatever the first move is going to be, probably half hour, maybe 45 minutes tomorrow, is probably where we're gonna or the max will move, and then we'll just chop around if we can get something directional. If it does something, well, a lot of these days lately, the first half hour or so has moved one direction or the other. It's been a little while since we just rested at the open. I guess this is when we kind of rested at the open here. So this one rested the open. So we'll see if we do something like that. But we'll just trade the candles as they come. So I hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.